Welcome, everyone. This is a call on 3 secrets to overcoming writer's block. I'm Gulara. I'm your host today. I help people to get out of their own way and gain momentum in life, and especially in writing, because I work with writers a lot. So if you are here today for your writing project, that's wonderful. We can focus on that, and so you can have a breakthrough and gain momentum with that particular project. But if there is anything else that's pressing in your life and you'd like to dedicate a session to that particular issue, I invite you to keep that in mind. So even if you are a writer, but something else is coming up right now, feel free to focus on that issue. And there will be points in the call where I will invite you to bring that to the forefront. So this is just an initial invitation. So what we're going to do today is not so much as to adding something to what you already do. We will be undoing some unhealthy patterns which are holding you back. And I will explain how we do it in a couple of minutes. But because we're working with the subconscious mind and not necessarily your conscious thoughts, it will be useful to drop into your body, to relax into your chair, and allow your body to bring to your attention the thoughts and feelings that need your attention right now. And to do that, we'll have a simple body scan. You just sit comfortably in your chair. I'm going to name parts of your body, and all you do is gently put your attention on that part. You don't need to soften it or relax it. It will naturally do that and move to the next part as I name it. So sit comfortably. Bring your attention to the soles of your feet, your ankles, your knees, thighs, pelvis, lower back, your belly, upper back, your chest, your shoulders, right arm, your palm, your fingers, left arm, your palm and your fingers, your neck, your throat, your face, your head, top of your head. And imagine pure light coming through the top of your head. You don't need to see this clearly. Just set an intention that the light comes through the top of your head, your crown, and fills up your head, your shoulders, your torso, moving down into your womb, through your legs, into the ground. And then with your next breath, imagine that the energy from the earth is coming through your feet, grounding you firmly and bringing that energy of nurture and support from Mother Earth into your legs, all the way up your torso and into your heart center. Your heart center is a point between your breaths. And imagine that that light comes out of that heart center. It's a 360-degree bubble around you. Expands, and it connects with the light of other people in this circle. We are co-creating this particular space, the sacred space, and whatever happens here stays here. So we will go deep today. When you're ready, bring your attention to your feet. Feel your body on the chair. And from this place of feeling grounded and safe, what is your intention for today's call? What would be an absolute miracle in your life if you manage to clear that particular block that stops you? You may not know the block, you don't need to know it. But what is it that you would love to achieve as a result of today's clearing? It can be small, it can be just a stepping stone towards the next goal. It could be a big goal. Doesn't matter. Whatever shows up, trust that it's just right for you. If you have pen and paper, you might want to make a brief note about that. Intentions are incredibly powerful. They carry us a long way. So take a moment, set your intention, and keeping this intention in mind, I'm going to lead you through compassion key, a brief compassion key session. It will be only a couple of minutes, but it will prepare you to those breakthroughs. Okay, I'm not going to explain the technique at this stage. I will talk to you about it in a minute. But for now, all you need to do is to bring your attention to your heart center, that point between your breasts and your solar plexus, and imagine that there is a warm heart energy emanating from that area and goes all around you. Okay, so imagine that warm heart energy. You can imagine it any way you like. There is no right or wrong way of doing this. Just allow your own warm heart energy to come out of your heart center and go towards your whole being. And please repeat after me. Before we say phrases, I need to explain just one minor point, which is when we say these phrases, they will all start with, I'm so sorry. And we give that compassionate, warm heart energy to our wounded part. So it's not the whole truth when we say a statement. It's just perhaps even 1% of you experiences that. So we are giving that energy to that wounded aspect. So when you're ready, please repeat after me. I am so sorry you couldn't receive the miracle. I am so sorry you couldn't receive the whole miracle. I'm so sorry you couldn't receive the whole miracle all at once. I'm so sorry you couldn't fix that part of your life. I'm so sorry you couldn't have what you want. I'm so sorry you were trapped in an imperfect life. Okay, take a nice deep breath in, sigh it out. And that round might already bring stuff up for you. And if there is anything you'd like to share, you're welcome to do that. And if not, we're going to move to the next section where we will test where we are right now. So what I'm going to invite you to do is to focus on a specific issue you'd like to transform right now. So perhaps you want to finish your project, or you want a job, or you want to have a breakthrough with your business. So whatever that is, imagine that you reach inside with your left hand and pull out that particular intention, desire, and place it in a circle in front of you. So in front of you, there is an imaginary circle on the ground, and you place that symbol in that circle. Whatever shows up is just right. So see what shows up and how you feel about that. And if there is anything you want to let me know, then you can. So the next thing we're going to do is to state a statement. So we're going to say a statement which will start with, I deserve. And of course, intellectually we know we deserve good stuff, but then is your whole being on board with you on that particular issue? Okay? So my invitation, for example, would be to say, I deserve to be a channel to divine inspiration. Okay? Perhaps you want to be a published author. You could say, I deserve to be a published author. And you are not there yet, right? So, or you could say, I deserve to get my dream job, and be clear what that is. You get the picture, right? So you state a statement. So I deserve, and your intention, that desire that you placed in the circle, and complete that sentence. It needs to be positive. So I deserve this. And then tune into your body. Your body is an amazing instrument, and it will tell you how true that feels in your body. So be really honest with yourself here, because we will work with that particular issue, and by the end of the call, you will have a feedback mechanism to know whether anything shifted or not. So let me know when you have that statement. So for anybody who just joined us, we are setting an intention for this call. Just imagine that you reach in with your left hand and pull out an intention for this call. So what is it that you want to transform as a result of today's clearing? And then you set up a statement which starts with, I deserve to have, to be, to do this particular thing. If nothing comes to mind and you just come up for it with a statement, just use the one I suggest. I deserve to be a channel for divine inspiration. It's always good to be a channel and be guided from above. So if nothing else comes to mind, feel free to use that. But otherwise, focus on your particular desire. So I'm going to unmute everyone and check whether, or perhaps if you need more time, then let me know in the chat box or unmute yourself and tell me that. Otherwise, if I don't hear from you, I presume that you've got it. Okay, great. So now that we have that intention and the theme that you're working with, I want to speak briefly about the topic of today's call, which is 3 secrets to overcoming writer's block. And it applies to writer's block, but equally to anything that holds you back in life. Right? So if you know that you can step up and do more than you are already doing, but for some reason you're holding back, chances are that this call is totally applicable to that particular issue. Because what holds us back is normally fear. And there are 3 core fears that I uncovered from working with people and in my own experience as well. So the first one is fear of failure. It's when we procrastinate, we don't even want to start doing something we know that we ought to be doing, because deep down there is fear of rejection, there's fear of disappointment. So all those fears are likely to hold you back. So we'll do some clearing around that particular fear. Then the second fear is about fear of exposure. What if people find out that I'm not good enough at what I'm doing? This is where the imposter syndrome comes up, the shame of being seen or misunderstood, it's perfectionism. So all sorts of behavior that tries to keep us safe. And I want to make it clear that fear is not bad. Fear is trying to keep you safe. And safe is not always a very comfortable place to be. Sometimes we really need to take risks. And so then this inner conflict arises because part of us knows we want to grow, we want to be seen, we want to be doing things in our lives. And then there is another part which says, well, actually that's not safe. Because as a child, you were told off for not performing better, let's say. And then the fear is that experience will repeat itself. So it tries to do its best to keep you safe. That's its job. Okay, so fear can be very useful. Ula, welcome. I'm just going to mute you, and I'm explaining about 3 core fears that hold us back. So we looked at fear of failure, we just looked at fear of exposure, and then the third fear is fear of success. And it's an interesting one because I'm sure everybody here has been told at some point or another that, oh, chances are you will fail. There are no guarantees that you'll do well on this project or as a writer or whatever that might be. Nobody earns living from writing. That's the one I've been told over and over again. Right? But who told you that actually you might be brilliant, you will do really well as a writer. You earn millions, whatever your version of it, right, of success. And again, that's another trap we fall into because we judge success by what we see in the lives of other people. And what's your idea of success is not always clear. So success turns into this moving target. So you achieve something, and then actually you could achieve more, and somebody else has achieved a lot more than you did. So that lack of clarity about what success is gets in the way. But then there are also big fear that there may be negative consequences. What if I actually do really well, and then my relationships will change. People might judge me as being greedy, or people might envy me. People might hate me, right? And also there is this desire to wait for permission to be successful. So there's a lot of truth in there. So those three core fears, in my experience, are the major blockers. So you're not stuck because you don't have ideas, or you don't have determination or willingness or ability to make it happen. Oftentimes, you're blocked because one or more of these fears are triggered, and part of your being thinks, actually, it's not safe to do this thing. So what we're going to do now is to do more compassion in order to undo some of these beliefs and release stuck energy that's held in your system. Because when something happens as a child and you're criticized over and over again, we kind of take it in. It settles in our body, in our system, in our consciousness. And then we almost expect people to act that way. And guess what? People pick up on those vibrations and they deliver. Have you noticed that when you change, people around you change? Do not necessarily act the same way, same person, but could act very differently depending on what you're putting out there vibrationally. So compassion key is a really powerful tool in clearing all those layers from the childhood that we've been carrying for so long. It's incredibly and deceptively simple. You just bring your attention to your heart center and solar plexus, and you beam warm heart energy towards your whole being. And there's no right or wrong way of doing it. Just bring your attention to that point between your breast and your solar plexus, that area over your stomach. And imagine that warm, like imagine a child came up to you and said, I'm hurting. I'm really hurting. It could be your child or somebody you know. They come up and tell you how they feel, right? Like, how would you respond to that young child who says, I'm hurting so much because they were so mean to me? Yeah? It's probably, your heart, you probably open up and you give them a hug and reassure them. So it's similar energy, similar approach, but you are doing it to yourself because you are carrying that young child. So when we say these statements, tears may come. They are not mandatory, but there is release often because you've been carrying it for so long, and then that child tells you something and you respond kindly, and there's often softening there. It's like, oh, thank God they got it. They finally hear me, right? So allow your emotions to flow. Don't resist. Don't judge them. And something may get triggered, right? This stuff goes really deep. So if you need to reach out for an individual attention to a particular issue that feels really strong, please do so. I'm here. Okay, you can do it on the chat, or you can just unmute yourself and let me know. So what I want to invite you to do is to focus on that circle, your intention that you set out at the beginning of the call. If you're late to the call, just set a quick intention for what you'd like to achieve as a result of today's clearing. So what is it that you want to focus on? I got a message on the chat box where somebody asks for feedback about their statement. I deserve complete clarity about my right livelihood. And it's good to have clarity, and livelihood is a good topic, even though it's broad, it's quite broad. How about I deserve complete clarity about my business or the future of my business or whatever that might be. So don't judge it. If livelihood came up, then stick with it. And then check in your body before we carry on. So everybody please bring back that statement. Thank you for the prompt. So bring that statement, and what I want you to do is to tune into body, and on the scale of 1 to 10, 1, it doesn't feel true at all, and 10 is this is an absolute truth right now. Okay? So see where you are on that scale. There's no right or wrong. We will just set a figure and then be as honest with yourself as you can. It doesn't matter what that figure is because it will change by the end of the call. But be honest. It's not an intellectual, I deserve good things. It's how do I really feel in my body when I say this statement. So when you say, I deserve complete clarity, how does that feel? How true is that? And if you could let me know in the messages what your number is, I could get a sense of where the group is. So say a statement, I deserve whatever it is that you want. You don't have to write me the statement, just the number. 1 is it's not true, and then the whole range up to 10, where are you on that scale? Beautiful. So I deserve to be me is beautiful. And how true does that feel? I deserve to get work that will help me to grow and develop to be the best version of me. Wonderful. I deserve to make money with what I love to do. Excellent, Monique. Excellent. Excellent. Spot on. Okay, great. Excellent. So everybody, focus on that statement. You don't have to keep it in mind, but kind of set the intention that this is what we're clearing. So it's in the back of your mind. And then when you're ready, bring your attention to your heart center and solar plexus and beaming warm heart energy towards your whole being. I'm so sorry it wasn't safe to be you. I'm so sorry they judged you for being you. I'm so sorry you couldn't earn money with what you love to do. I'm so sorry you had to work hard for your money. I'm so sorry you were not allowed to have it easy. I'm so sorry you couldn't have the work that you love. I'm so sorry you disappoint them. I'm so sorry to hear that you will be disappointed. I'm so sorry they rejected you when you failed. I'm so sorry you accidentally made yourself smaller than you are. I'm so sorry you felt so ashamed when you failed. I'm so sorry you were stuck for so long. I'm sorry you lost a sense of who you really are. I'm so sorry you underestimated what you can do. I'm so sorry you're sad. I'm so sorry their shadow was stronger than your light. I'm so sorry you couldn't accept them for who they are. I'm so sorry they couldn't accept you for who you are. I'm so sorry you didn't want to start because you feared that you will fail. I'm so sorry you held back. I'm so sorry you overcompensated in other parts of your life. I'm so sorry you couldn't bring balance into your life. I'm so sorry you couldn't have it all. I'm so sorry it wasn't safe to do well. I'm so sorry they taught you that you will fall. I'm so sorry you lived in anticipation of that failure. I'm so sorry you were reluctant to start. I'm so sorry you are angry with them. I'm so sorry they got in your way. Okay, nice deep breath. Release all the tension. And check it with that circle. Has anything changed there? It doesn't have to. If it shows up, it's just it. Yes, it's useful to say the sentences out loud. So You can say them in your head, but it's really helpful to just let them out of your system by saying them out loud. Thank you for bringing that up, Monique. Anybody wants to share how that resonated with you? Yeah, definitely. Crying, and then there's lightness that comes because we've been holding all this. And as we release through words and tears, there is lightness that comes. And it's all the energy we're expending to keep the lid on, right? Suddenly becomes available to us towards achieving that particular goal. Yeah, because it takes a lot of energy to keep these feelings down, and they want and beg your attention. The moment you acknowledge, see, and hear them, they don't need to run the show anymore. Just gently release out of our system. A glass of sip of water would be lovely. Yeah, the disappointing them is a really, really strong feeling. As children, our well-being depends on our parents, right? So seeing their disappointment can be really painful. And then we carry the feeling and fear that we might disappoint others. And it may not be true anymore, but it has a big impact. Yeah, beautiful. Yes, and there are different layers to that feeling, right? So we clear that, and there are layers, whether it's emotional or physical, or even karmic. Some of the stuff we bring with us ourselves. We choose the right parents to instill some of those feelings, or to bring those feelings up to the surface for us to find the resolution. Yeah, it might take a lifetime or several lifetimes. I don't know. But this goes really deep and clears some of that clutter that we've been carrying around without realizing that. Okay. So let's do another round. So we looked at fear of failure. Now we're going to clear some of the themes around fear of exposure. And this one is huge because nothing like fear of judgment to stop you from putting your writing out there, putting yourself out there, to speak your truth. Yeah, what people would say, well, how would they react? Am I safe to do that? So a lot of big things. When you're ready, just relax into your chair. Bring your attention to your heart center and solar plexus, and beaming warm heart energy towards your whole being. And please repeat after me these statements out loud if you can. If you're in a place that you can't speak, you can just whisper, at least let it out. I'm so sorry it wasn't safe to be for you. I'm so sorry it wasn't safe to show through you to the world. I'm so sorry you had to edit what you say depending on the recipient. I'm so sorry you felt like an imposter. I'm so sorry you felt like you were a fraud. I'm so sorry you didn't feel good enough. I'm so sorry you felt ashamed. I'm so sorry they judged you. I'm so sorry they were so critical. I'm so sorry you couldn't change them. I'm so sorry they were so harsh. I'm so sorry it hurt so much. I'm so sorry you felt misunderstood. I'm so sorry they didn't believe you. I'm so sorry they blamed you. I'm so sorry they punished you. I'm so sorry you decided it was not safe to be seen. I'm so sorry it was not safe to be heard. I'm so sorry you had to be perfect. I'm so sorry the only time they loved you was when you were perfect. I'm so sorry they didn't love you for who you are in your fullness. I'm so sorry you vowed to be perfect at all times. I'm so sorry you were such a good girl and worked so hard to please them. I'm so sorry nothing you did was ever enough. I'm so sorry they still managed to find flaws in you. I'm so sorry you accidentally became invisible. I am so sorry you're so sad. I'm so sorry you lost your way. Okay, nice deep breath. Be gentle with yourself. Have a sip of water if it's enriched. And let me know how did that round landed in you. What's resonated, what's alive. Yeah, there's a lot of anger. We'll get to that. Thank you. Yeah, in some ways, I mean, it could be a sign that when there is a desire to contradict it all, there might be a slight desire to protect yourself from the pain of it. Yeah, the fear exposure is much bigger than fear of failure. Yeah, we are taught we will fail. It's given. There are no guarantees. Just give it your best shot and see what happens. But being seen in that failure, that's a completely different issue. Anything else that's coming up for people so that I can integrate it into our final round of clearing? Yeah. But whose expectations are they? Who sets those unrealistic expectations? Being seen is huge. So that visibility thing, I've been personally working for about 2 years, and there are so many layers coming from family, society, culture, and then if you add multiple cultures, then what is it safe to be seen here or over there? So there are many, many layers of visibility. Yeah, not being seen in the right way. Okay. Right. No, I mean, we are all different. So for somebody, fear of failure might be a whole lot stronger than fear of exposure, or maybe that's where you are right now. Maybe if you look at the writing project, let's say, fear of failure often comes at the beginning. It might be the beginning of a chapter or the whole project, whatever, right? It kind of tries to stop you. And then I see fear of exposure, that middle part of the project where you might be ending towards the completion and you are at the stage where you might put it out and then you start worrying what people might think and so on. And then fear of success is kind of towards the end, like, what if this is actually good, right? So any of these fears can get triggered at any stage of a project. It's not that they are confined to particular areas. But what I'm pointing at is that maybe what you're doing and where you are right now, fear of failure is the strongest, yeah? So some other time, you might connect with others more intensely. So you take what you need to, and it's still here, right? So if the statement you feel like, actually, this doesn't apply to me right now, I'm going to skip it, you just don't know. You don't know what it might touch, at least, and it won't do any harm. It will just go through you. Like, if there is contradiction and there is reaction to a phrase, there is something there that's worth exploring, okay? If it's clear, if you're a clear channel and you do not have that particular issue, you'll say it and it will just go through you. Like, what? There's nothing to attach to. Yeah? Okay, let's do a bit more. So bring your attention to your heart center and solar plexus and beam in warm heart energy towards your whole being. I am so sorry you are grieving lost opportunities. I'm so sorry. You're so sad over those lost connections. I'm so sorry it didn't go according to your plan. I'm so sorry there was no plan. I'm sorry you didn't dare to dream big. I'm so sorry you thought being small makes you a smaller target. I'm so sorry it's dangerous to shine. I'm so sorry it's dangerous to shine. Monica, I think you unmuted yourself. Oh, sorry. Okay, no worries. I was popping. Oh, okay, I muted you. I'll come back to you if you need to speak. Okay, so bring your attention back to your heart center soul breath and continue being in warm heart energy towards your whole being. I'm so sorry you're angry with them. I'm so sorry you are angry with yourself. I'm so sorry you're sad. I'm so sorry it's dangerous to shine. I am so sorry it's dangerous to be in the spotlight. I'm so sorry when you shone brightly, they brought you down. I'm so sorry they shamed you for shining brightly. I'm so sorry you didn't act. I'm so sorry you blamed your light for their reactions. I'm so sorry you couldn't handle attention. I'm so sorry when you did well, they envied you. I'm so sorry when you did well, they turned away from you. I'm so sorry they taught you to be like everybody else. I'm so sorry you were waiting for their permission to be successful. Nice deep breath. Release all that tension. So when you have a chance, connect with that circle with your original intention and see whether anything changed in the circle. Remember, whatever shows up is just right. Mm-hmm. Yellow is a good power. It's solar plexus. It's our personal power. Thanks for sharing. So let's check in on that statement. I deserve. There were really good statements here. So remember your statement. I deserve to make money with what I love to do. I deserve to get work that will help me to grow and develop the best part of a version of myself. Or whatever was yours, I deserve. And sit proudly, just good posture, and tune into your body. What's your number now? Yeah, I understand that thought about proving them wrong. But again, if there is reaction and, we want to shine because that's our birthright. You've got your natural light. Excellent. And it wants to come through. It's just we put filters on that light because there are so many fears we either inherited, like there are so many fears we absorb from our parents. We don't even consciously know we have them, but we absorb them all the time because that's what children do. They're like sponges, right? Yeah, wonderful. The numbers are very excellent. Yeah. Yeah. And there are layers to this fear. So today we covered some of the deep themes, but even not necessarily each theme, but within a theme, let's say perfectionism or procrastination, that in itself deserves a whole call, right? So there are layers and layers of the stuff we carry, and what's interesting is that we are not necessarily aware that we're doing that. It's not a choice. Conscious choice that I'm going to hide out and don't put my best writing out there. It's that unconscious fear that would find reason why not now. Yeah? And so I invite you to carry on with this work or whatever other tools you have. Now that you have awareness, wow, I've got somebody with 10. Excellent, excellent. And again, wherever you go to, it's perfect. So it made you come one step closer towards that goal. I have an invitation for you. I'm running another call like this. I just love doing these live calls because I have no prepared script. I just on the spot. So clearing what you needed to take today. I'm going to call next week, and then I'm going to run a 4-week course. And I have an invitation for you. If this book resonates with you and you feel that you could benefit from it, then you're more than welcome to join. At the moment, I'm offering it at half price, especially for people who experienced and resonate with this work. So it's not for everybody. I don't want to run and persuade people to do this work. It's incredibly powerful and deep work. So when we finish today, go gently, lots of water, just to flush out, because you are holding that stuff in your system. And so by drinking lots of water, you're letting it out, all those toxins as well. If you have a chance to go and stand on the grass and ground yourself a little bit, that would be great. So self-care is really important right now. So for the next 24 hours, if something comes up, you know the technique now. You just can give yourself that compassion, okay? And if you need to reach out, please do. But I will be spending 4 weeks looking at each of these fears in more detail, the fear of failure, fear of exposure, fear of success, and then we will integrate and bring it all together. I will send a follow-up email with all the details. You're more than welcome to join me on this journey. It's going to be deep and powerful. And if this was enough for you right now, that's fine. It's absolutely fine. And if you want to come to a free call next week as well to clear some more, you are more than welcome to do that too. And if you know people who could benefit from this work, please pass it on. She'd appreciate that. I hope that you got a lot out of the call. I invite you to your body. So release that circle of your intention to the light and let your higher self to guide you towards that goal. And we're going to dedicate all the energy that you released today. Release all that stuck and held energy. So we're dedicating to your higher to guide you towards your goal, to make it really easy and enjoyable. So bring your attention back to your feet, to your ankles, knees, thighs, your back, your belly, your chest, your throat, your face, your head, and bring back your own energy, that bubble that we created at the beginning to co-create the space. Bring it back, bring that energy back to yourself. Bring it through into your feet and into Mother Earth and anchor you there to ground you, to feel safe in your body, to feel strong in your body. When you're ready, if you haven't already opened your eyes, if you haven't closed them, that's fine too. Let's deep breath. Oh well, I'm going to stop the recording now, but if there's anything you'd like to talk to me about, I'll be on the line.
Sorry, Gulara, can I?
Yeah.